I don't know exactly what I'm going to call this just yet, but we're back with a brand new video. So we're back on the NBA Yes or No. It was actually ran by a new person. I guess the old owner said, I don't like this no more. He sold it. I don't know how much he got back in return, but you sell anything that you created for free, it was a big up. So we're just gonna get right to it. Gordon Hayward is underrated. That is facts. I think this year a lot of people are starting to realize more and more how good Gordon Hayward is. I mean, he was an all-star this year. It was a big step in his career. What was it? The skills challenge. He was runner-up, and then now he's in the playoffs, leading his team to what seems like a second round because they're up 3-2 on the Clippers. And listen, I think a lot of people just realizing right now, especially with the playoffs going on, I think he dropped like 40-something points the other day. So people are starting to realize. But you know what? We need to talk about whether or not he's going to stay in Utah because he is a free agent this summer. Personally, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion because he seems like he likes playing in Utah. They have a okay core with him and Rudy Gobert. I mean, George Hill's pretty old. Derek Favors is wishy-washy. So it's really just them two and maybe Rodney Hood. So they have an okay core, but it depends on if he want to win right now. Some people out there will pay him, like his old coach Brad Stevens in Boston. They need another piece, don't they? If they really want to contend, they need another piece. I'm sure Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge go pick up that phone to get his dude a call. Come back home, come play with me. Because, you know, they went to back-to-back championships. I don't know if Gordon Hayward was on both teams that went to the championship for Butler back in the NCAA, but I know he was on one because he almost hit a full court shot to win the game. But Gordon, extremely underrated, but people coming to their senses now. Paul George played his last game with the Pacers. I hope so. So I'm gonna go with yes, just because I hope so. Not because I don't like Indiana, because even though they're in my division. As a Bulls fan, they're in my division, so I don't like them that much. But for his sake, I just hope he's like, you know what, let's go someplace that needs some help. And actually, I mean, not don't need some help, but that has some help, like the Boston Celtics. But I'm not gonna be one of those Boston fans or those Lakers fans that like everybody's coming to my team. No. But I'm just saying, like, there are teams out there that could use his help that need like one more piece to get over the hump. And Boston's like the prime example because they got a lot of cap space. And like Gordon Hayward, Paul George, they would fit perfectly in those systems. But I really hope that he has played his last game. I think he still has like one more year in his contract. I could be mistaken, but shoot, if I was him, I'm ready to get out of there, man, because he really had no help in the playoffs. Miles Turner was alright, but it sucks because he played his heart out. He played hard every game, 30-something points per game, and still gets swept because nobody around him wanted to step up. Lance Stevenson had a couple good games, but it was just pretty much the PG show. And I hope that either he stays in India and he gets the help he needs, or he goes somewhere where he can contend. Nate Robinson will return to the NBA. I don't think so, unfortunately, because baby Nate was my boy. Back when Derrick Rose got injured, Nate stepped in. We won some games out. Didn't win a championship or not, but we won some games with Nate Robinson as our PG, and he was fun to watch. But I think he's at the point where I don't think he's coming back. Like, the Bulls need the point guard. He was doing everything. He was campaigning for the Bulls to come sign him back, but nah. And nobody has taken a risk on him. I just think he's over. Let me check and see how old he is. So he's 32 years old. Right now he's playing in, he played a little bit in the D League this year. I didn't even know that. But now he's playing in, where is this? In Venezuela. So he's still balling, but NBA coming back, I don't think so. I would love to see it though. I don't think he's gonna have these hops no more. At 32 years old, how tall was he again? Yeah, 5'9". Me and Nate Robinson was the same height. He's got bunnies. I got some bunnies a little bit, but not enough to be jumping over Dwight Howard for sure. Kryptonite over, you know, Superman, but I don't think he's ever coming back. Giannis Antetokounmpo will win MVP. I do think this is facts. I think in 5 years, Giannis may be the best player in the league. And that's really saying something. 5 years, because right now, I still believe that LeBron is the best player in the league. I think he will be the best player in the league for like maybe 2 more years. But then he's going to start to age, you know, Father Time, don't lose no battles. Somebody's got to step up. Giannis has been great this year. That Milwaukee Bucks team has a really, really bright future. I'm very surprised at what I've seen in them. I did predict this series with the Toronto Raptors to go 7. But even I didn't expect them to be playing this good. Now I know they're down or whatever, but I didn't expect them to play this good. For a young team, they're very poised. They don't try to rush things. It seems like they know what they're doing, even though this is basically their first rodeo. I know they were in a couple years ago, but not many of the players from that roster are still here. Giannis is still here, but yes, I do think he will win MVP in the future. I'm excited to see him win MVP in the future. LiAngelo will make it to the NBA. Now, I've said this in videos before. I think LiAngelo, out of the three Ball brothers, I think he's like the lowest, and that's not crapping on him. I think it's just facts. I watched those guys play at least a little bit, and I know Lonzo has game. Lonzo, I think, is going to be the best player out of all, the best pro out of all of them. LaMelo has a lot of potential. He's still super young. He's got to improve on some stuff like his defense and his shot attempt, like his shot IQ. LiAngelo, again, like I said, he's at the bottom of those three. So I think that maybe if he does make it to the league, it'll be like, okay, one Ball brother's making it. Let's just give this other one a chance because you never really know. But yeah, even if he does make it, I don't think he's ever going to be like a star in the league. No way. I do think Lonzo may become a star. I think LaMelo still has the potential to be a star, but LiAngelo, not really feeling it. I think LiAngelo may be in college for like 3 to 4 years, while like Lonzo was there for 1 year. When LaMelo finally comes, I think he's going to be there for 1 year. Where like LiAngelo, he's going to have a long college career. There's nothing wrong with that. Every time I talk about the Ball brothers and I talk about LiAngelo, people think I'm like hating on LiAngelo. No, I'm just trying to spit the facts that I see. That LiAngelo has the worst potential out of those three. It's just the way I see things. The Blazers won 1 game against the Warriors. This is a little bit late for me, but no, I don't. Well, okay, they didn't. So I did predict that they would, though. I thought that Damian Lillard would have one of those games where he drops like 50 and his team wins. Obviously, did not happen. They got swept. I don't know what their future is going to be like. I've said this before, but do not be surprised. This is my really bold prediction for this team. Do not be surprised if either Damian Lillard or CJ McCollum gets traded by the end of next season. Do not be surprised. Oh, I should probably explain why I think this, right? It kind of reminds me of when Steph Curry and Monte Ellis were playing together. Steph Curry started to show a little bit of promise, and Monte, I mean, it just wasn't really working out. So they traded Monte away. Steph Curry stepped it up, and now he's a 2-time MVP. I think it's a very similar situation where, like, both of these guys, it seems like they can coexist, but I don't think they can coexist and win big. Especially right now, the way their team is drawn up, they threw a bunch of money at pretty much like average players. Average players or below average players. So the only way they can really build their team for the future is if they make a big trade. And CJ and Damian, those are 2 big names. If you put one of those names on the market, people will give you the offers that you're looking for. So that's just the way I see it. Big, bold prediction. May not even happen, but that's me being me. Chris Paul will win a ring. This is a GOAT one, man. So this offseason is going to be really big for Chris Paul's career. Right now, he's actually playing incredible in the playoffs. His numbers may not say that, but there's flashes during this playoff series. I'm like, wow, that looks like Chris Paul 4 years ago. So he still has a lot of game left in the tank, but this next offseason, we will really find out his priorities, man. I do not think if he stays with the Clippers, he will win a championship. I hope that the Clippers blow up what they have. I hope Blake leaves. I hope Doc Rivers leaves. I hope Chris Paul leaves. And if he does leave, he needs to go to a place that can help him win because he's not getting any younger, man. How many years he got left of him being Chris Paul? 2 maybe? 3 maybe? So we don't know his priorities during the offseason. If he really wants to win, he'll take that big pay cut. Well, it may not even be a big pay cut. There's some teams out there that want to contend that can actually pay him some solid amount of money. Not the $35 million that he can get if he stays in Los Angeles. But if he wants to win the ring, he got to make some sacrifices. And we'll really know what he want to do soon. If the money's the real important thing or when is the real important thing. I want to see him, like, okay, he may not win a ring here, but I would love to see him in New Orleans again. I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. Him, DeMarcus, Anthony Davis, let's make it happen. They'll have the money. They just won't be able to sign like Jrue Holiday. But come on, he'll be a great replacement for Jrue Holiday. So, this comment says, if Stern didn't overturn the Lakers trade, then he would have a ring. Think about that. It was him, Kobe, Powell, yeah. Well, no, Powell was going to get traded to Houston, so Powell wouldn't have been there. But him, Kobe, he may have had a ring in L.A., the first trade to LA, if David Stern wasn't on BS. Wow. Think about how different Chris Paul's career would have been. But anyway, will he get another? Will he get one? I hope so for his sake. The Celtics win first round, yeah, unfortunately. Beginning of the series, I think I said Celtics in 6 or maybe Celtics in 5. Either way, I mean, my Bulls got the first 2 games, unfortunate injuries, and then the Celtics start to pick it up a little bit. I never thought, I mean, I had a little bit of hope in my Bulls, but I just thought eventually that the Celtics would get it together. And yeah, they did. Tonight, they came out and showed out in the 4th quarter. Isaiah Thomas showed us why he has the nickname Mr. 4th Quarter or King of the 4th Quarter, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, they're going to win this series. Next round, I think they're going to have their hands full with Washington, though. But we'll talk about that in future videos because we still not sure. I mean, hey, you never know. If Bulls go game 7, me and my dad going to Hooters. He called me. He said, yo, if the Bulls pull us out and go game 7, I'll treat you to Hooters. So I'm rooting for my Bulls for 1 because I'm a Bulls fan, but 2, free wings. Who doesn't like free wings? So thank y'all so much for watching. That's pretty much all the new ones for the new guy. Thank you for the creator of this, for keeping it going, because I really appreciate it, because these are always very, very fun for me. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with some more fire, so stay tuned.